Welcome back to the Momentum Sports Podcast. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts. Derek and I love talking about college sports, especially college football and college basketball. We're excited to get on to this next topic that you came here for. So let's get it. All right, Derek, let's talk about who's going to win the national championship this year. By the way, we are recording this just for anybody just tuning in. This is before conference championship weekend. So nothing's finalized on the order of these teams. It's just maybe grab 1 to 3 at the most teams that you think have the best chance of winning the national championship. Derek, you go first. Who's your top teams? I already know one of them, but
Okay, let me put it this way. There's only one team, maybe two teams that have a chance, and it's not Oregon. I don't think Oregon's strong enough. I
I agree.
really think Ohio State bounces back if they're on one side and they beat Oregon. They get that rematch and they beat them. That's why I don't think. I think Oregon just slipped up, and Ryan Day has his job on the line, and he needs to do something about it. When you lose four straight to Michigan, it's that bad. But with Texas, everybody, and I've been saying this since the beginning, Texas has one of the best, if not the best, defense in the country, and you
He
can't
says
even
this
deny
every
that.
year, by the
No, well,
way.
it's true this year, man. I've never seen a defense like this ever. I mean, they said the last time the defense was like this was like back in
so so
1983.
let's be honest though, real quick, Derek. What good offense has Texas faced?
What good offense? Well, you said Texas A&M had a good offense. Apparently, they got
Yeah, I
smothered.
know. I was trying to say the opposite. I was trying to say that Texas had not played a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
But really, who do you think, like, what good offense has Texas played that their defense really showed out against?
Texas A&M. They literally shut that offense down.
Texas A&M doesn't have a very good offense.
Well, apparently, to your view, they did.
Ugh,
You know,
anyway,
but the point is, they shut down. Look, they're going to beat Georgia if they play like they get against.
Georgia's offense is not ranked very high either.
They said
And
there's
Georgia
no
put
way.
30 on y'all.
There's no way Georgia's going to have the same pressure they did against Texas the first time. Texas is going to be ready. And the way they played against Georgia's offense, I don't think Georgia's winning against Texas in the SEC championship. I don't think they're
I
going to
don't think
beat
so either.
Texas in the playoffs. That defense is solid, and this is with like one person said, I think it was Josh Pate or Joe Clatt. He said that this defense is so good that Texas can win the Natty just with 60%
Yep,
offense.
I agree.
That that's crazy.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah,
But for real,
Texas.
though, we should keep in mind Texas has not faced a legit offense.
Well, they're going to
Now,
be faced them.
if you look at all of these teams in the playoffs, um, really Oregon would be the tester. If you can slow
Mm.
down Oregon, that's whenever you would know that you do have a legit defense. But again, Texas did play all the SEC teams that were like lowest in offense. I think Arkansas was probably the top rated offense that they played.
And still, we haven't played it. A we haven't won against a ranked team because apparently Texas A&M went off the ranks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow. So still no current top 25 wins.
they'll change next. They'll change this Saturday.
Yeah, it might. But let's move on. I actually agree with you. I think that Texas is in a very good shot, or like they have a very good opportunity to win the whole thing. I think that they have a really good defense. And like you were saying, you pointed out that only 60% of their offense, like only having, um, I guess, yeah, 60% offensive efficiency, then
Strength.
yeah, sure, strength. Um, I I think that that's enough. Ewers
Hmm.
doesn't have to have a lights out game. They just need to play decent enough to get some first downs, um, get some, a strong rushing attack. Uh,
Hmm.
what was that running back's name again? Was it Wisner?
Weisner, the fourth
Yeah,
string
yeah,
running back for the.
yeah. He did.
No, I'm
He had a
sorry.
really good, like a game like that where you have like, you know, Quinn Ewers having a tough game, but then you have a strong running game
Hmm.
where
And he
you're
was.
getting yards and you're gonna score. Um, and your defense can do everything to stop the opposing team. I think another team that's built similarly is Georgia. And that's what's
Hmm.
interesting about this is that these two teams could play potentially 3 times this season.
Yeah.
Georgia and Texas are built very similarly. Um, I personally think both quarterbacks are overrated on each side, and which is kind of interesting. And their defense can win them ball games, and
Well. Mhm.
it'll be really interesting just to see. I think that those two teams are the best built for a championship, and I agree with you with Oregon. Me personally, I do not think offensive minded teams win championships. As soon as somebody figures out to slow down their offense, like a Texas, like a Georgia, Oregon's in trouble. Wisconsin slowed them down. It's just Wisconsin didn't have a competent offense to go and score at the end of that game. Somebody in the playoff will have a competent offense to go and score at the end of the game, and Oregon will get beat, in my opinion. Um, I think it's really just Georgia and Texas for me that I'm most confident in. I'm not confident in Ohio State anymore. They were kind of my preseason champion, but Will Howard to me he is just he makes mistakes in big time situations. Too many
Mhm.
times these in these losses, he was mainly the one responsible for um, either a turnover, clock management, a number of things, and I just don't think that he has what it takes. And Ohio State has dropped 2 games that they were favored in. I just no, I'm just not
Yeah.
buying it. And then the team I'm rooting for is old Boise State. I really hope they win the Natty. Not sure it'll happen, but
No.
it would be really cool to see. So that'll be my Cinderella. My Cinderella pick will be Boise State.
Well, JT might break the Barry Sanders record if he, because all he needs like 100 and something yards. He breaks Barry Sanders' single
Yep,
season record.
that's easy work
Well,
for Genty. Easy
yeah.
work.
The thing is, Barry Sanders did it in 11 games.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, so you have extra games nowadays.
Yeah.
But anything else that you want to add, Derek? Who? Anybody else? What do you think of the Georgia pick? Do you think Georgia's? Excuse me. Georgia's up there too.
I think Georgia has a shot if they get past Texas, but they better hope they don't play them because right now they're predicted to be a 7 seed,
So
and
Derek,
their win goes to Texas.
Derek, what if this scenario happens? What do you think of this? Let's say that Georgia beats Texas again in the SEC championship.
Oh,
Hypothetically.
die.
Hypothetically, that happens, but then Texas beats them in the national championship. What would you make if you were a Georgia fan? How would you feel? What do you think Kirby Smart's response would be to the whole setup, the whole committee thing? To be forced to play a team 3 times, do you think that that's a flaw in the system and it should be removed somehow?
No, because they would end up in the national championship that happened. Because first of
Right,
all,
but
if
playing 3 times, do you think that that should be prevented?
not, no, he wouldn't say that because He knew that there could be a chance to play it 2 times in the playoffs and meet up in the in the SEC championship and meet up in the playoffs. That's how it would
Right.
go with any
But
team.
if Georgia owns the series 2-1, but Texas gets the national championship.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when that national championship happens. You can,
Yeah.
you know what? We
It's
can
just an
talk
interesting
baseball.
scenario, like for real, man.
No,
That's gonna be
you can say that with any team. You can say
I know,
in
that's what I mean.
baseball,
Yeah,
they
anybody.
win
Like,
this like a team
but
beats
this is a
another team.
likely
And
scenario. Like this could
it's
happen.
well, it'll just say that Georgia
Like
was a
Ohio
playoff
State and
team.
Oregon, they're not playing 3 times. The most they could play is 2. But Georgia and Texas could legitimately play 3 times this year.
Yep, and that happens. You know, that's
Wow.
the thing, because you know what? It's not about that. It's not about the SEC championship. It's about who could be better in playoff time. You know what?
Yeah.
Texas beat Georgia. They were just a better team who held the distance of multiple, like what, 13 games or
Well, they got
14,
3
15.
shots at one team.
Hey, you know what? I can tell you this: if Texas loses, it's because Texas wanted to lose. You know why? Because they would get that fifth seed. There's no way Penn State would keep that fifth seed.
Yeah.
Texas would get the fifth seed, and they would get the easy road all the way to the semis. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
So,
then again,
Derek, who's going to
mm-hmm.
get upset first in this playoff?
Oh, Oregon.
I'm thinking Penn State. I think Oregon gets past the first round. I think Penn State loses maybe in the first.
But then Ohio State would play Oregon in the first round.
Ohio State is playing well, we don't know. We don't know how everything's going to land yet.
The way these rankings are going, they will, because Penn State will go to number 5. Georgia loses, they'll go behind Ohio State. Basically, Ohio State will stay in the same ranking they are now. What, that's 6?
Yeah.
So 5 plays 12, and then okay, maybe not. They would play in the semifinals. Yep.
Yeah. So, my prediction is Penn State will be one of the ups, if not the only upset, but definitely going to be one of them. Uh, I just personally think that Penn State's overrated. I think that they have a super easy schedule, a little bit easier than Texas's schedule, and
They played Ohio State close. Just
well,
saying.
I don't know if that's saying much right now after
And
last
Ohio
weekend.
State lost by 1 to Oregon. So I mean,
Well, you also said you thought Oregon was overrated, so
they
uh,
still are.
yeah. So anyway, let's head out to the next segment. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got this far, please consider hitting that like button and commenting down below with your thoughts. We'll see you guys in the next video.